Well, hello and welcome to Thought for Thursday. Thrilled to be here with you this evening. You know, Thought for Thursday is the part of the podcast of Leveling Up the Podcast with Atucker. It is the section of the podcast that we do on Thursday nights to let you come in for a quick pick me up. We touch on things that are definitely relevant to the times, relevant to what it is that you're dealing with. We look at them and we give you a solution to perhaps fix a problem, fix a challenge that you may be having. It's all of 15 minutes. We come to you with these questions, with these issues, and when you leave, you have some actionable tools that you can use in getting to your next level. So, tonight, what we're focused on, again, we've been doing our 12 weeks on reinvention, the process, the different pieces of it. Well, we've talked about so many things, and tonight we're talking about the importance of just going ahead and pulling all of this into a plan. Now, when I talked about the podcast earlier or the session for tonight, I didn't really give a topic. I wanted you to know, number one, that the podcast itself is doing great. And I'm so happy about that. Thanks to CTR Media, the platform that I use. Thanks for where we are placing right now in ratings. And also to let you know that we are starting a new season coming here in just the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Well, I'll be bringing you some new episodes of Leveling Up the Podcast, and you'll hear more about them as I prepare to release them. But that is, again, what we want to talk about tonight. We want to talk about how it is that we pull all of these things that I've been telling you about over the past easily 10 to 11 weeks, how it is that we pull all of that together. We've done some core work. We've talked about finances. We've talked about what it is that you need to do to be healthy so that you can create the reinvention platform that is necessary. We've talked beliefs. We've talked your health. We've talked emotional wellness. We've talked about so many things that are all very important to the process. But now we're going to talk integration, because it's time to talk about how it is that all of those scattered pieces of your transformation are really pulling together into something that you can walk out, into something that's real, into an actionable plan that you can begin to really put action to, that you can really begin to get the motor rolling on. So what are some of the pieces? What are some of the things that you need to do, since we're now talking about integration? How is it that you can actually get things started? What is it that you can do? How is it that we're going to begin to integrate all of this? Well, the first thing that I want you to focus on is revisit the core. You remember what we talked about in the core. Those were your beliefs. Those were your foundation, your values, all of the things that you are building your reinvention on, right? And we talked about how they needed to be stable. What is it that you've learned about your purpose in that process? What is it that you've learned? What beliefs have you needed to shift? What mindset have you outgrown? Those are all the things that you need to revisit when I talk about revisiting your core. Write them down. And remember that you need to build on healed ground. So if there are instances in there where work needs to be done or where work needed to be done, you have to make sure that it is done so that you're working on healed ground and not on broken patterns or pieces. All right. So it's not just about reflecting. It's really the compass that's going to lead you. It's that foundation, again, that is at the very core of what it is that you need to do. What else do you need? Well, we already talked about purpose, and we can go absolutely nowhere without vision. So that's our next step here. Define that vision. You've done the core work. You know what it is that's important to you. Know what the purpose is that you're aiming to work towards. What do you want life to look like for the next 12 months? What do you want things to look like 12 months from now? Who do you want to be? What do you want to have in place so that you can be molded into this new reinvented person, this reinvented place that you want to be? How is it? What is it that you need to do? What does that look like? Not just what you want to do, but what does that look like? What do you want to be? So, this is where you really kind of reclaim your right to want more without guilt because you deserve it. We've done the work to know, all right, my foundation is firm for me. I know that I have value. I know that I have a voice. I know that there are things that are important to me. I know that I deserve to walk through these things. You know all of that. Define it, write it down. That's what we're talking about when we talk the vision piece of it. So, what else? So, as to not get overwhelmed, it's important that we really break that vision down. So, use the vision that you are now writing down. All right. Once it is written, you need to break those things down into pillars. Create the pillars. So, what are some of the pillars that we're talking about? What are some of the things that we've covered over the weeks? You want to talk about health and vitality. You want to talk about fitness and wealth. We've talked about all of those. The importance of being healthy, the importance of having the financial mindset to ensure that you are financially in a place for your reinvention, that you're not carrying around any negative thoughts about what you're able to accomplish, what it is that you're able to generate. All of that is very important. We talked career or calling. That's another pillar. What do you want your career to look like? How is that matching up with your calling? Make sure that you start documenting all of these things, putting them in the pillars or in the columns, if you want to call them that, so that you don't get overwhelmed by looking at that vision and going, where in the world do I begin to make this plan work? And then, of course, the whole foundation that we talked about, the whole emotional wellness and self care. What do you need to do? Where are you currently? What is it that you need to put in place to ensure that you're healthy in all the areas where you need to be healthy? So, again, look at the vision and then break some of these things down or break everything down into the pillars so that you know how to tackle them and you're not overwhelmed by looking at where it is you want to go and not really knowing by any means where you should start. This helps to create some clarity. And keep in mind that you also have to set some goals with these things. Once you get them all written down, you have to determine what your goal is, set them, and then figure piece by piece how it is that you're going to get to where you want to be. Commit to doing things piece by piece. All right. So that is the breaking it down into pillars. What else do you need to do? Well, choose your habits. We all have them. Choose carefully, choose wisely, right? So, reinvention, of course, is not just about waking up tomorrow. It's not at all about waking up tomorrow and being new. That's not it. We've been doing work over the week, so you know that there are some steps in there that need to take place, some things that need to be in place. It's about those small, faithful steps, all right? It's about the everyday steps. So, in choosing your everyday steps, it's important to develop some habits around that and some habits that are going to support where it is you're trying to go, how it is you're trying to reinvent, what it is that you're trying to do that's different, that's better for where you want to be. So, what do you want to do? What are some habits that you may want to adopt? Choose some time, 10 minutes of prayer and or journaling. Prayer and journaling. So make sure that you do both of those so that you will know and get some direction and get focused in where it is you want to be. Make sure that you're eating at least one healthy meal a day. For some, it may be overwhelming to just delve into doing 3 meals a day. Well, start small, start with one and build from there. Start somewhere. That is the key to kicking off a plan, is making sure that you start. Okay. Something else, canceling an unnecessary expense. We talked about that when we were talking about being healthy financially. Take a look at some of the things that you're spending money on from week to week, day to day, month to month, and say, Do I really need this? Where can I cut some of the extra spending that I'm doing so that my finances can be healthy and be able to support what it is that I want to change in my life? Sending one email to grow your network. All right. That is something that pertains more specifically to the career piece of what we were talking about. Perhaps just send that email. You may be thinking that growing the business is so overwhelming. Start small, do that email, and then grow. Get to the point where you perhaps have a customer system where it automates your emails and you can send them out to your email list. But the point is, start to do something. And then make sure that you're doing some things that are going to bring about rest. Don't feel guilty about resting. Rest is key for you to be able to grow. It's key for you to be able to make changes in your life. It is key for you to being healthy. So choose habits wisely. Journal, pray, eat that healthy meal, send those emails out to start the business to growing. Cancel any unnecessary expenses that you may have. Go over what you're doing so you can see where those expenses may be that you need to let go of. And then make sure you're getting the rest that you need in order to build the person, the thing that you want to build. The last thing, make sure you have that support system. It is so key, it is so critical to making sure that you have things in place so that you can do what you want to do. They are the backbone. They are the folks, the system, the people, whatever, that are going to push you on those days when you feel like you don't even want to give it a try. All right. So, who is it that you're talking to? How are these people speaking into your life? Are they speaking positively or negatively? Are they forcing you? Are they leading you into bad habits or into good habits? Are they having similar ideas? Are you similar in thought processes? Are you similar in goals and values? Those are the kinds of things that you want to look at and make sure. So, what you need to do again, I'll tell you very quickly as we go through it. Revisit your core, define that vision again, break that vision into pillars so that you're not overwhelmed and wondering, where do I even begin? Choose your habits, choose good habits that are going to support what it is that you're trying to do. And then make sure that you have that support system that needs to be there to ensure you are going to be able to do all of the things that you desire to do. Make sure that it is there so that you are able to grow in the way that you desire to grow and to develop the things that you desire to develop. All right. So we're getting close to the end of these 12 weeks. It has been wonderful coming to you every night and building and showing you the pieces. But what I want us to start thinking about now is, where do we go from here? It's wonderful to hear all of these things, but it is more beneficial to hear and to act. It is critical to do that. So if you need some support around acting, I need you to text me and just say more to 240-789-4299. You need more. You need more information. You need more of a plan. You need some support in helping you to carry out all the things that we have been talking about. I would love to help you in that way. And I have several programs. We've got processes. We've got things in place that are going to help to move you from place to place, stage to stage, so that you can get to the point where you are doing and being and having the things that you desire to have. All right. So that's it. Thanks so much for listening in. Remember, go out and be you. There's nobody better than you. Being you, you are the only thing that's needed. You are more than enough. All right. Go out and do something to change a life, change your life, change life for someone else, so that we can all be better. Touch the world as only you can touch it and make a difference. Have a great one.